Welcome back to another episode of the Gift to Gab podcast. This is your host with the most, Gabby, coming to you from the Shishaleafa factory. I've got Adrian here with me. Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm enjoying this Shishaleafa. I had never tried it before, and I'm definitely impressed. The flavor's good. The clouds are starting to really roll through, and I'm feeling that uplifted feeling from, I don't know, smoking. I don't know how long I've been smoking it, but
Well, good. I think we've had it on like at least 30 minutes.
Yeah,
so our bowls, they'll last anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. You'll still get the flavor and yeah, it'll just keep rolling.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about Shishaleafa.
Well, thank you for having me. We just actually got this facility about a week ago, so we're really excited. We've been in business now for about a year and a half. So the concept originated, my business partner, Jonelle, he created the product, and originally it was a THC product. And so that was called cashmere. And you could get high off of it. We would say that it's the equivalent of smoking two blunts between four people in one session. Okay. And so that company that had that product, they sold, and the product just kind of, disappeared.
Dissolved.
Exactly. So a couple years went by, and I hit my boy up. He was out in Oklahoma. He does, he's a cannabis mentor, and so he bought him up, fully vertical, seed to sale, compliance, everything that you need to know as far as like starting a grow, a dispensary, a concentrate company. I mean, he's your guy. So I hit him up, and I was like, "Hey man, what are you doing with that product?" He's like, "It's just sitting, and we came to an agreement, and I bought it from him. Yeah, and so I started doing the branding, started doing the marketing for it. I hooked up with Sanja and Krista and the THC girls, and they helped me with a lot of the design work and the marketing and stuff like that. And so we had it out for about a year and a half, and my business partner came back from Oklahoma and wanted to take a more active role in the manufacturing of it and production of it. And so him and we got together and really just started hitting it hard. We changed the formulation from what it was to now. We can confidently say that it's so clean you could eat it. It's all food-based products. And essentially what Shishaleafa is, it's a hemp-based shisha, no tobacco, no nicotine, no CBD, no THC. And the reason we did that is because it enables us to go, worldwide, nationwide, and we don't have to deal with the licensing or any red tape like that. It's just basic, it's a hemp license. So the Farm Bill, when that was passed, that enabled us to go from state to state.
Okay, and so if it doesn't have any of that, is it like 21 and up just because of the way the laws are, or is it basically is there an age restriction on it, or how does that part work, or how do you find it or smoke it, or?
Yeah, we are in such a gray area. So the way that tobacco laws work right now, you have to be 21 and up nationwide to consume or purchase tobacco.
Okay.
Right now, there's no regulation against us.
Okay.
And so it is technically
so it's a gray area.
Yeah, it's a supplement. And so really what that enables us to do is to there's a lot of young people that go from high school to college that enjoy smoking hookah. They do it while they're studying. They they want to relax, and that age range between 18 and 21, now they're not allowed to do that. With Shishaleafa, they can.
Okay.
And so it opens that market back up for lounges and head shops and stuff to be able
to be geared towards. I'm not saying that we should be slamming smoking at younger people, but what I'm saying is when they completely took that away, I just feel like, wow, that was my biggest smoking era. I feel like was that age. So what is it like to be that age? So that's that's cool that you kind of have that little market there too, and there's not regulations. How did you come up with the name Shishaleafa?
So shisha traditionally is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's the product that is in that is in the hookah that you smoke.
Okay.
And traditionally that's tobacco.
Okay.
They call it tumbuk is the original name. And from there, I was kicking it with Sandra and Krista, and we were, how can we, like, she, for some reason, I don't know why she had it in her head, but she wanted it to rhyme with Wiz Khalifa, so she's like, Shishaleafa, and then boom, it just hit, you know what I mean? I think she had just gotten done doing some work with Wiz or something like that, or helped him out along, they did something. And so yeah, that's where it came, and it's real easy to say. It goes well together. Shishaleafa, it kind of rhymes.
I keep saying it over and over. I'm like, it is fun to say for sure, and it's like it stays in your head too. Like to me, since I came in here not knowing too much about hookah, just like sometimes I like to smoke it. For me, it's probably gonna be like in my head what I always think of when I see hookah from now on. I'm like, oh well, it's not quite the same, but in my head, like, this is Shishaleafa because like that's what's gonna pop in my head, so I like it.
And that's exactly what we're going for too. Because at the end of the day, what we're pushing is a lifestyle. It's not necessarily just smoking shisha. It's bringing smoking hookah out of the dungeons, bringing it into the coffee shops, into the juicers, and giving people a healthier alternative really to traditional tobacco smoke.
Yes, so that's what you were telling me, is that it's a very like all natural product. So can you tell me a little bit more about, like, you said it's all food based?
Yeah, so everything that's in it, like honey, sugar, it's all consumable, vegetable glycerin, like it's all consumable stuff. And then you mix that with our slurry and our flavor profiles, and it gives you kind of the taste and everything that you have. It's our motto, or our slogan is, it's so clean you can eat it.
Yeah, you let me taste it, and it definitely, like, I wanted to say candy. That's kind of what it was like not the consistency, but like it's like tasted good. And then I thought when I tried it, it was going to be like and the flavor is so mellow. Like, that's what I like about it, is that not even, like, I don't even feel it going down the back of my throat, is how smooth it is. And then the flavor is pretty consistent, like I smoke weed all the time, so I'm like, I always have cotton mouth, and this isn't giving me it's not too bad a cotton mouth. It kind of, like, the flavor stays in your mouth. It's all around it's nice.
A little refreshing, and kind of like you said, that slight sense of euphoria, because at the end of the day, whether it's cannabis, THC, CBD, what have you, your body chemistry is what really dictates how high or the feeling that you get, right? It's not necessarily a indica sativa hybrid that we've miseducated the consumers to believe. It's how are these tastes and smells interacting with your body,
and how are you enjoying it? Like, sometimes, I mean, like, people get offended, but when I don't want to smoke certain things or whatever, but I'm like, if it gives you a headache, or it doesn't taste good, or it makes your mouth, like, you're not going to feel the effects of it as when you're relaxing. Like, you're relaxing and enjoying yourself. And that's what it said. It said, what does this say? It says, meet your new herbal relaxation buddy. And I was like, oh, like, herbal relaxation buddy. That is good marketing over here. I see you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Sandra.
I see you guys.
She's a monster in this, but
she really is. Like, I'm pretty sure that she's the first person on the THC app that, like, I tuned into, just because I've been wanting to start a podcast for a long time, because, like, I wanted to be on the radio, but I don't listen to the radio. So I was like, like, how's this gonna work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I saw her, and everything she does is just so catchy, and it's just so. And then, like, cool fact, we were born on the exact same day, like same year, same everything. And I just found that out this year, and I'm cool. This is cool. Like, maybe I'm catchy too. Like, we need to do some stuff together. So that's in the works. But
nice.
That's exciting, because it definitely rolls off the tongue, and I like it. I haven't even read the rest because I'm just so, You know, the flavors aren't like your basic raspberry, cherry, melon. Like
Right.
you have a different, like all of them. I was like, what are these going to taste like? And it's just, I was pleasantly surprised is the word for it.
That's awesome. We've worked on this for over a year and a half as far as like a reformulation, getting our numbers down, getting our process, our SOPs down, and still working on them just because now we're in a new facility and that's going to change. And so with the way we actually manufacture and how quickly we can do it and turnaround time for orders and stuff is going to change as well.
It's going to, growth happens so quick sometimes. Once you make that that step off. So tell me a little bit more about, you said that you told me a little bit about how you guys got started. How did you kind of when did you know and how did you make the transition from, this is an idea to this is actually this is what I'm gonna do. I'm all in.
So the moment he showed me the THC product of it is when I knew. And I was like, that's so dope. You guys are gonna kill it. I'm so happy for you, right? And then just the way, life works, that company dissolved. And, I knew at that point in time, I was like, well, if they're not doing nothing with it, maybe, why not give it a shot?
Throw it out there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he was down. And then we started manufacturing and started doing it. And really when I wanted to pretty much go full force into it was after this new formulation.
The new formulation?
Yeah.
And taking was it when you took the THC out of it?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was the main thing for me.
That takes a huge component out. As much as we would love to be able to have it be this sweet and get us high, to be as a business owner, and as somebody that is trying to see their brand grow, I feel like you just popped the top right off when you did that, essentially.
Yeah, and it gave us access. It gave us access to, across country.
Mm-hmm.
And what it did too is it doesn't mean we can't do those other things. Mm-hmm. It just gave us a good foundation to build off of it. And
then you could essentially launch other product lines down the road. Oh,
exactly.
Look at you thinking ahead.
And so we're actually working on licensing deals. So pretty much white label stuff. So your brand here, and we can show you how to infuse it so you're in compliance with the MED and all of that. We can show you how to infuse it with CBD to make sure you're dosing people properly and all of that. And so that's the next step as we build this out is you're going to see Shishaleafa on the shelves, but it's not going to be Shishaleafa. It'll be hypothetically Wolfpack, and it'll be their brand. Yeah. And you'll be able to get high from it, kind of thing. And people want that, but some people don't.
Yeah, some people don't. It's definitely, I think, especially as I always respect the people that don't mind it, even when they don't do it. I used to always try to pressure everybody. Why don't you smoke? What's wrong with you? And now I'm like, well, at least you're letting us do it still, And some people like to smoke, but they don't want to smoke cannabis all the time. They don't want to always feel high everywhere they go, you know. So having the alternative, but then also giving it having something this smooth, if there could be THC in there, I don't know if I would smoke any other way after that because it's so smooth. I like I told you, I was using those tea leaf wraps, and I love them because they're more, it just feels like you're smoking, but you can still get the pull and pass it around. Yeah. This, you can do the same thing with it. So, it's I appreciate that there is nothing in it because it gives me something else to smoke. But, if there was THC in there too, I mean, then I'd have to buy both packs, I think.
Yes, that's what I like to hear. And it's interesting too because as we started doing more research and really getting into the nitty gritty of who is smoking hookah and why, it's about a little over 40% of hookah smokers do not use other tobacco products. And so, the tobacco industry is a what $1.8 billion industry, and if you have, you know, a small segment of that, but 40% of those users, what it tells us is they'd rather smoke something else. They're still going to smoke hookah, but they would rather not smoke tobacco. They would rather not smoke nicotine. And so this option gives a non-addictive option to people that you know, tastes great, that is so clean you can eat it.
I'm not like shaky like you get when you like
Headaches,
overdo it.
stomachache,
Yeah, like you can always tell, like, especially being a former like cigarette smoker to now not, like even a little bit of tobacco, it has been used for centuries for its ability to get you like awake and alert and focused. You know, that's the basic of the nicotine and the tobacco that, you know, and I didn't feel any of that from this. None of it. I just feel like I can just keep smoking, blowing out these clouds. Like that's the part that I like about hookah. But you're right. I don't want to smoke the tobacco. I don't want my throat to hurt for days and sound like a frog. Like I don't want to sound like that.
Tobacco hangover, hookah hangover is a real thing. You know, and it gets in your clothes, and it gets in like you smell like shit. Honestly, you know, and then it turns your stomach and it makes you want to shit, you know, and
exactly. So I was gonna say it didn't do any of that, like none of it. And I've been sitting here for a straight hour. Like I smoked a blunt on the way here, and then like I'm smoking this, and I don't have any sort of headache, no sort of like desire to like, oh man, I should probably like go like drink some water or whatever. I feel great. So
good.
I definitely highly recommend it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Are you from Colorado?
Yes.
Born and raised?
For the most part, I've lived in a bunch of other places, a bunch of other states, but I was born up in Greeley, and I graduated from North Glen, and then, you know, just all around the city, the state, and then like Cali. Shoot, I made it out to Wisconsin for a little while when I was a kid, but yeah.
So you so you've been in this culture, in this cannabis culture, and kind of like when did you first realize, was it more hookah or was it more the THC and getting high that drew you towards like hookah and smoking shisha?
That's a good question. I never really smoked hookah when I was young. It was more, I didn't like tobacco. I like weed. I smoke weed. I've been involved in the cannabis industry for 16 years.
I'm always like the whole time. Like that's what I always tell people. Like legitimately, maybe just started, but the whole time.
Yeah,
like, I've been here.
Exactly. And so I owned a shop up in Black Hawk for a while.
Okay.
And it was alternative medical supplies. It was a dope little spot. And then, you know, Gilpin County had I don't know if they still have it, but they had a moratorium, and so the owner of the building had to sell because some crazy life stuff happened to her. I hope she's okay. But yeah, and so we had to move our shop, and that was that, you know. And so I've been an entrepreneur since I can remember, but my background is in like banking. So I was a business banker for Chase Bank for a good deal of time out in Boulder, and one day I decided, I was like, yo, I don't. You
got
like the
out of the matrix.
Culture.
You got out of there.
And so I decided to go back to school for horticulture, and one of my clients paid for it.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool.
I'm blessed that his name's Michael. I mean, he's an angel. Him and his wife adopted 5 mixed race kids. He's a white dude from high-powered attorney from Florida, and like just raised them, sent them all to, you know, they're doing very well in life, and his wife died of cancer, and then he started this fund to send minority students to community college, and I went my first semester, I paid for it, and then I hit him up. I was like, you know, you mentioned this, is this still a real thing? And it was, and he paid for it.
Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. I love to hear that, because I was selling insurance for like 6 years, and it was weird because during that time in my life, everybody was always like, you're doing so great. Like, you're doing so great. You're living the dream. Like, I had all these flashy things. I lived in a big, nice house, you know, and I just wasn't. I was like, this isn't me at all. And I just I used some of my 401k money to start personal training or to get certified or whatever, and just kind of jumped out. And I was called getting out of the matrix, because I'm like, none of us are supposed to be bankers and insurance salesmen. Like, none of us, that's not our purpose in life.
No, it's not. I mean, I don't know, my boy, he was my manager, that he excels in, and like, dude is killing it, and he's happy with it, and that's what he does.
That's why if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Like, some people don't have that like entrepreneur spirit, and like,
exactly.
My son told me I wanted him to not get a job, because once you get a job, like, you're gonna work forever. Like, so I just was like, you don't need that. Let's start a business, like, because he can do oil changes and like car detailing, and now he has a job at Home Depot, because he was like, Mom, like, I don't want to do all of that work to maybe make this much money in a month. Like, I just want to go to work after school with my friend and like make $700 paychecks, and like, I'm like, whatever. All right, cool. Like, because sometimes you have to realize you can't force yourself on to your, to your children. So I'm like, whatever, because I'm like, no, we can make all this money for ourselves. Like, let's promote ourselves, and it's cool to work for other people and to help and collaborate, but it's just something different when you find things that like click for you.
Yeah.
And something that you can call your own, and something that like you are like, this is mine. I'm ready to share it with the world, and it's something that like I haven't seen it. Like, I don't know who your competitors are. So, you know, like, it's exciting when it's something like new and innovative too,
And that being said, like, I listen to a lot of Gary Vee, and one thing that sticks with me is he says, who cares who your competitors are? Mm-hmm. What they do has nothing to do with you. Your competition, why waste your time and energy thinking about it? You got a job to do, go fucking do it.
That was literally when I woke up with my like little positive message I put out into the world this morning on social media. It was talking about confidence, and your confidence shouldn't be geared based on anybody else. It should be like your own, like what you think of yourself, and like thinking about when I can't remember which one of my coaches told me this, but one of you great ladies out there, they were like, put down all of the, like, stop looking at all the other businesses that are doing what you're doing for this month. Drop it all. Just leave it where it has to be. You can come back and look at it later if you still feel like it, but drop it. And what do you want your business to look like this last quarter of the year? And I was like, whew. So I've been practicing every time. I'm like, don't think about that, because you are your only competition.
And we get into that as people, right? We compare ourselves to, I shouldn't be here, I should be further, I should, and we get into this mentality and this mindset of the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it distracts us from our goal, and it distracts us from our main intent on what we're trying to accomplish. And like, we were talking, I have younger brothers and sisters that are really young, and it's even for myself, I'm 36 years old, and figuring out like the idea that comparing yourself to other people is just going to bring negative energy and a thought process to yourself. And then
limiting beliefs.
Exactly. It spirals.
And you think about it like, that was another thing I was learning from one of my coaches is, learning those like thoughts that maybe even came before birth, like these negative thoughts that we have from like our family passing them down to us, but these negative limiting thoughts that we just like right away we're like, I can't do that, and really like working to eliminate that, because you're only in your own way, you can only do as much as you believe that you can do. But once you really tear that wall down, the sky is the limit.
Yeah. And it's generational trauma, and science is finding out that this trauma is embedded in our DNA, and that it does get passed down from generation.
That's why they can trace like your DNA back like as far as they can, because like it's literally inside of you. But that's for a whole nother topic.
But yeah, but it's being able to break those curses,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's being able to believe in yourself enough that, I mean, this whole thing is it's go time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's really,
I can feel it. I'm like, this is a big deal. And then to find out I'm coming in right when you're getting this spot, I'm like, this time next year, we're going to have to like loop back around, because I promise you, like, as soon as you take that big step, like, I feel like it takes off.
Yeah.
After that.
And that's what we're hoping for. And, you know, we've got a great team. You know, THC girls are dope, and and Sandra and Krista, they help every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's the way I see it is like failure. You fail on your own. It's doing all of this has gotten me to the point where I can't blame anybody if it flops.
Mm-hmm. I
can blame myself. Mm-hmm. But your success is shared. Mm-hmm. Because it's a community thing. Mm-hmm. There's no way that I could do any of this alone. Mm-hmm. There's no way that I can, you know, go out and promote and market and create the product and do, you know. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the success is shared.
Having people that kind of pave the way and almost kind of show you like, you might have to like work together, and it might take a little bit longer, but to build a strong foundation, but to really have a community that helps you build that strong foundation, you know, that it's harder to crumble when you've built that, you know, solid foundation. Can you tell us like how to find you if we want to try Shishaleafa out for ourselves?
Shishaleafa on all platforms. So Shishaleafa.com, Shishaleafa on Facebook, awesome. And at Shishaleafa on Instagram. Mm-hmm. We're starting TikTok. It's another thing that we have to do. Yeah. But we'll have a TikTok here soon. But yeah, it's Shishaleafa on everything.
Oh, awesome! That's easy. That's easy to remember. And do you have anything coming up that you are excited about besides just launching this new space?
So interestingly enough, I do. So I also have another business where I curate shows, and we do large scale, small scale events. It's called Fam Bam Productions.
Oh, okay.
And we do silent discos. I have like 250 silent disco headphones, and so I'm working with a couple of politicians that are my good friends running for mayor. His name's Ian Tafoya, and so I'm planning a couple of events for him throughout the next few months.
Oh,
and then,
awesome!
Yeah, and just concerts, music. I think we're looking at trying to get Michael Menner, if you know who that is. He's like an electronic music kind of thing.
Okay.
And then possibly doing an event for another politician that is running for Denver City Council. Oh, wow. And so working on that. And then I do a lot of work over at the Marijuana Mansion. Shout out to the Marijuana Mansion.
I still have not been. Like, I am so sad that I keep missing like opportunities, but you know, I'm busy too. So, you know, I'm never sad that I was doing what I was doing, but at the same time, I'm like, it's been like 2 years. I feel like I've been trying to figure out like how I'm going to get in there and what to do over there. So that's cool. And I had no idea. Now I'm putting all the blocks together, and I'm like,
oh yeah, with the messaging and with them. And
with Fam Bam, I'm like, okay. So you're a busy man over here. You got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, trying to make some of myself. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to.
No, that's dope, because I mean, the Fam Bam, like the name sticks out. You're killing it in this branding, and sounds like the shout out to the Highly Connected app and the THC girls. Krista and Sandra, shout out to you.
Yeah, definitely on both of of my businesses are on the app.
I know. I'm about to, like, I only started with my podcast on there because it was clear how to do that on there. And now I'm like, okay, we got to get the coaching business on there too. Like, I just think it's crazy if you don't want to put your business on there. Like, I can get, like, some people are scared to invest in themselves. So I can get people that, like, don't understand the value of spending money for coaching programs. You know, what we're going to teach them. But anyways, but your vendor being on there for one payment for the whole year, and like you have so much, to me, it's just like I can barely even tap in because I'm so busy getting connected with this little sector right here that I'm like, there's years worth of people to connect with, I feel like, on there now.
Definitely.
You know, like trying to reach out to so many on there I'm like, I can't do that. I'm just gonna let it flow. I'm just gonna let it happen naturally because we're growing. It's pretty it's pretty cool.
It's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, so make sure you connect with us on the Highly Connected app. Be sure to download and connect. I'm having a little bit too much fun over here. Also, please let me know if there are is someone or any other brands that any of y'all would like to see on the podcast. I'd love to cross promote, even maybe get you back about your shows, since we barely tapped in about that at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
And as always, stay safe, stay high, and stay fly.